Testing, testing. One, two, testing. Can you hear me good over there?
Yes, I can hear you good.
All right. Well, my name is Mir Mahanovic. It's nice to meet you, sir. How about you? Tell us about yourself. Introduce yourself.
How's it going? My name's Andru Mendez.
Where are you from, Andrew?
I'm from Venezuela.
Venezuela. Do you have any? Were you born there?
Yeah, I was born there.
Can you tell me anything about your childhood? What were you like as a child? Did you grow up there?
I didn't really grow up there, but I was born there. I mean, I stood there until I was like 5, 6. It was pretty nice down there, but
You liked
of
it back
course,
when you were a child?
yeah.
Mhm. Is there anything you remember about it, like the weather, the houses, trees?
I remember mostly the weather. It was really nice,
Mm.
blue water,
Really, how were the
warm
people?
climate. They were kind, more like small village people than anything else.
These urban folk around here. Uh,
Yeah.
did you have a lot of family down there?
Yeah, I have a big family down there. Most of them are still down there.
So, how'd you find your way to Utica, New York?
Um, by accident, with cheap housing here, I just managed to kind of land here.
Your family just uh got here. They came on vacation or something.
It was more like just an investment, and then it ended up me living here. It's
Uh,
like 2002.
you didn't start off in Utica, right? You started off in New York City.
Yeah, in New York City, Flushing.
Flushings. Did you enjoy it there?
Um, yeah, I went preschool there. I thing I remember most is getting pushed down in a cart and hitting a pole and breaking my tooth.
That that sounds very painful, actually. But did you know anything about New York City prior to arriving there, or was it all just new for you? Never saw it on TV or anything?
I never personally saw it, but my parents went there for business just to, buy things here in bulk and sell them back over there.
Oh, so you come from like a business-minded family?
Yeah.
Mhm. So I'm sure they had like businesses back in Venezuela, even though it was a socialist country.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was better back then than it was now.
Mm-hmm.
Back now you have a lot more people fighting for hunger, and it's a lot harder to live there now and even have a business.
You still have family over there, right?
Yeah, they taught me how they can't, they go to sleep hungry and how they wait at least 5 hours a day just for a bottle of milk
Wow. Yeah.
and everything's rationed off.
Do they? Do you know what kind of jobs they work there or anything?
They actually have decent jobs, but it's still not enough. One's a superintendent of schools. I have some that are doctors down there, some lawyers, but
Oh
it's
wow.
just really hard down there. Usually they end up buying stuff in the black market,
Mm-hmm.
for instead of waiting the long lines.
So, like here, we have black markets for weapons and stuff, but there it's a black market for basic groceries.
Yeah, for basic groceries, food, because right now everything's just so rationed off. I mean, the government takes away like 99% of their income, so
Wow.
they really, yeah.
And these are educated people too, your family members, the ones that still don't even make enough money to get basic necessities. They can't afford it, right?
Yep, they really can't. And a lot of them have businesses, and a lot of them were well off back then. But with the economy crashing, it's been hard on everybody.
Is there a lot of violence over there? Do you hear about it?
Yeah, I hear a lot about violence and how now it's the world murder capital of the world.
Wow.
Sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
My parents told me it was really nice back then, but it's not the same anymore.
Yeah. Uh, is there anything like that makes you? Would you ever want to go back over there? Or?
I would want to go back over there just to explore, but besides that, everybody's scared to go back there.
How is it for like your elderly relatives, like grandpas or grandmas over there? Because it must be really difficult for the elderly.
Well, a lot of them die for basic reasons, like my grandfather died just aneurysm most likely on the toilet, and basic things like that is it's just anything can kill you down there, basic flu or cold.
Oh, really? They don't have good healthcare down there now.
Yeah, they don't.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
But do you find yourself enjoying your current life in America?
it's enjoyable to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I was a little bit more seen as human.
Do you have any like examples where like I know recently with the whole you're a dreamer, correct?
Yeah,
With the whole DACA coming under fire and with Trump's
yeah.
administration, things have obviously been harder for you. Have you met anyone who's treated you unkindly or differently, or for lack of a better term, racist? Have they been racist to you?
Well, I think my worst experience happened actually in SUNY Poly, in the financial aid office.
Can you tell me about that experience?
Well, I came from MVCC.
Mm-hmm.
I got financial aid there. Because like anybody else, I pay taxes, I work. Um, and uh, back in MVCC was great. Go to college, pay. I would still pay out of pocket. But
Mm-hmm.
then, right when I got to SUNY Poly, it was a really big problem, and ended up not even going because they didn't want to give me financial. They couldn't give me financial aid.
Really? And this was
Yeah,
tied back to your residency status, your DACA citizenship, whatever it's called.
yeah, and it's just it's a confusing topic because you call people like FAFSA and they tell you yes, you're allowed state tuition, and all this help, but you try to go to these schools and you try to explain to people and they really don't
Know what
they
they're
don't even want
doing.
to hear. Yeah,
So
kind of makes it hard.
the state bureaucracy really getting in the way of your goals and ambitions, right?
Yeah.
And so you're currently not going to school, right?
No, I'm currently not.
But one of the ways to get a citizenship in America is to go through schooling, right? Was
Yeah.
that your first plan?
That's more of like a, what was it called, you have to come here to work. I know a lot of people that do that too. I mean, a lot of people that you have to come here to go to school,
Mm-hmm.
and that by itself, you once again you fall even into a worse category, because now instead of paying the $5,000 tuition or even the out of state tuition, you pay the international student tuition, which is, I've heard, is ridiculous even in a public school.
Yeah, wow, I didn't even know there was an international student tuition. But
Yeah.
the only reason I'm asking is because if your requirement is to go to school to become a citizen, but the schools make it hard for you to come here, it's kind of not really giving you many options or pathways to become a citizen, you know?
Yeah, it makes it really hard when even the public school system,
Mm-hmm.
public,
State
it's still
funded,
pretty,
yeah.
yeah, state funded is still pretty expensive, and 20, I know some people who pay $20,000 a year, a semester, and they barely even make it by.
Mm-hmm. And so your pathways to citizenship are very limited right now. I mean, what can you really do? You can only either become through marriage or what's the other one? The military, right?
Uh, I don't think they allow people, Hispanics into the military, that don't have residency. I think it's more,
Oh,
you have to
really?
speak certain languages. I know they do a lot for the Middle Easterns that speak, the
Yeah,
languages
yeah.
from there.
Oh, but they wouldn't like accept you because you're not a permanent resident either, because you're on
Yeah,
DACA.
yeah, they wouldn't.
Mm. I mean, speaking of DACA, uh, how has it helped you? It's what allowed you to stay in this country, right?
Yeah, I personally never came here as an illegal, but it still helped me. Instead of renewing my visa every year, I can
Mm-hmm.
just do that, and I stay here for a couple years now.
Does it scare you now, or not scare, but make you feel uncomfortable with the way the Trump administration has been handling the issue of DACA in Congress also?
I personally do, just because DACA was put in place to help the kids who were brought here at a very young age. Like I said earlier in the conversation, I don't know much about Venezuela. I came here when I was four years old. You know.
So you feel more like an American, really, than a
Y-
Venezuelan.
Yeah,
Mhm. And yet, the country that you feel a part of is now really welcoming you with open arms.
yeah, and I've been here. You know, of course, I part of NGRTC during my high school, and you know, I was in the top 10% in high school, and I did really well and everything, and just you know, that doesn't really.
So you're now one of those murderers or rapists Trump is trying to keep out of the country.
Yeah, I don't think I fall into that category.
Yeah, you're actually you happen to be a business owner, correct?
Yeah,
You have a locally owned business that you and your family started on their own, and you're
yep,
um, what's it called? Adding to the local economy, and but yet it's still difficult for you to become a citizen in this country, even though you're giving it a net plus than a net negative. You know.
yeah. You know, like it's another thing is it's if you're an immigrant, like in my position, you don't really you can't get any benefits like food stamps or any of that, social security or even I don't even think
Oh,
yeah, but
social help or whatever it's called.
yeah, but we still pay the same taxes and
So
I
you're
don't.
paying into programs that you don't get benefits out of currently.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, have you dealt with any ignorance regarding that? Because I know some people. I've met a few that think immigrants for some reason don't pay taxes. Have you experienced that kind of racism or ignorance?
Yeah, yeah. I feel I experienced it a lot, especially during high school.
Mm-hmm.
You would hear a lot that all these immigrants are coming into the United States and they don't even pay taxes.
Really? Did you hear this ignorance from like classmates or teachers?
A lot from classmates, and but you would still even hear it from older people, adults.
Really? People who
Yeah,
should know better. Did they
yeah.
ever did it come across as like aggressive towards you, or was it more they were just believing their own ignorance? Was there
They were
any?
just believing their own ignorance at that point. They weren't really aggressive towards me.
Oh, they
I
weren't
don't know why.
aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't know about people who really didn't speak the language and were really, new to this country.
They probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Yeah.
But do you have any plans for the future? I mean,
Uh, I just plan to keep growing my business out and, get as big as I can
if
and hopefully stay here in
yeah,
America.
does it stay in the back of your mind though? Some nights that any day you could just be sent back to Venezuela with all of its problems and insecurity, just because of the whims of some politicians.
Well, of course, it's just like it's kind of shooting you into a foreign area. I know that's where I was born, but
Mm,
like I said before, I personally, I haven't been there since I was a child.
you're an American.
Yeah,
You're an American. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, I don't think I have much more. Just since you are a first generation immigrant, and I hopefully do stay here and have a family and whatnot. Is there anything you'd like your future kin to know, like your grandkids or your kids or great grandchildren? Is there any message you'd want them to know and remember about the difficulty in your childhoods and your life right now?
Uh, true. Only thing I would like to say, if the U.S. stays the way it is they got it really good here compared to other places in the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's a.
Well, I'd like to thank you for your time, Mr. Mendez. I appreciate it, and I hope you get that citizenship pretty soon.
All right. Thanks, Amir.
All right, you have a good day.
You too.